Hello and welcome to Offlow Medical. Today's topic is a little bit different, and that is how you can study while you are burnt out and anxious. So this not only applies to the USMLE, but it applies to any exam in general. So it's probably late at night, your screen is open, you have a massive exam coming up, maybe you have a community medicine examination, maybe you have a surgery examination, a medicine examination, a gynecology examination, but you're just staring at the screen. You're stressed, you're dealing with problems, not only in studying, but life problems in general, and then you have guilt of not studying, which is going to make your anxiety even worse. So today we're not going to be talking about USMLE preparation or any clinical guidelines. We're going to be talking about your mind, about what to do when you completely feel paralyzed by stress, and how to actually get your focus back when things get overwhelming. So I've broken this down into specific steps, and we can get right into it now. So the thing is, first off, you have to reduce the outer noises. And step one, which is reducing the outer noises, I don't mean just putting your phone on do not disturb. So as medical students and doctors, and any student in general, we often try to study in chaotic environments. Um, a lot of us deal with different problems in life. Okay, maybe you're trying to read your textbook. Maybe you're trying to read your lecture while your mind is completely filled up. Maybe you hear somebody is distracting you. Maybe you hear noises. Maybe you hear voices from other rooms coming in from your house. Maybe your family is talking. So what you want to do is you want to reduce that outer noise. So for example, if you're in a room with other people, try to get into another room with nobody in it. Or if you see other people and your door is closed, you can just your door is open, sorry, you can just close that door. And after you close that door, you can maybe wear headphones, you can wear an earplug. If you have active noise cancellation earphones, you can wear that as well. You want to reduce that outer noise. Okay, so reduce that outer noise, close the door, wear your earphones, and just focus on the screen. So you don't want to hear people shouting or people talking in general. You want to do that. You have to break that physical loop. You have to change the area your body touches. So sometimes you're going to feel frozen. And when you feel frozen as well while you're studying, what I want you to do is that I want you to just step away from the desk. Maybe you can even go step outside, look at the sky, look at the environment around you, and you can come back. That will make you realize that you are a medical student and that your nervous system is in a state of panic, so you can step out and breathe. So the second step two, is reducing the inner noises, and honestly, this is the hardest part. So when you're surrounded by stress, it's incredibly easy to internalize it. So you start to lose your sense of personhood all at once. You start to feel like you're a burden to people, and there becomes a cycle. And this cycle is very dangerous, let's say, because first off, you have stress from other problems in life in general, and then you're studying. And when you are studying, then you're going to feel anxious and burnt out, and you don't want to study. Your mind is not in the right place to study. You keep getting distracted. That's what is that going to add? That's going to add guilt. Okay, so you have this stress. And then you are going to feel your guilt, okay, from not studying or not focusing well. And this guilt is going to make you stressed. And this stress is not going to make you able to study. So it's all a cycle, which is a dangerous cycle, as we said, and we want to get rid of that cycle. So you want to break that cycle. So um, deep down, the best way to break this cycle is to just let your thoughts float. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. So you just need to acknowledge that you have an examination that's coming up and that you need to study for this examination. and other issues can be dealt with appropriately. And also reducing the inner noise. Sometimes what you could also do is that you could do a simple workout, a simple 5 minute, 10-minute workout, because when you work out, then your body is going to release endorphins and is going to release dopamine and all types of hormones. That's all going to change your mind. It's going to change your blood. Your blood circulation is going to be refreshed. Your whole body is going to be refreshed. You could also maybe take a shower. You can also even take a cold shower if you want. But for me, the best thing that I do is that I work out. So you could do that, and you could also do something else other than that to reduce the inner noise. You can meditate, you can pull up your phone, you can play rain sounds, okay? You can do different types of stuff to reduce your inner noise. You can do meditation, you can pray, okay? If you're religious, you can pray. There are a lot of ways to reduce that inner noise, and you have to find that specific one that you like. But I really do recommend working out. So you have to forgive yourself and quiet that inner critique that you have. The third thing, and what we said, is that I said that I'm going to be talking about this, is that you have to let the noises float and prevent them. So step 3, let the noises float and prevent them before they start. You need to protect your peace proactively. So if you know your environment is going to get loud, you have to build your defenses against it. You have to build that wall against it. So if you know that maybe your house is going to be loud, you have to put in earplugs. So you can even just put your hands over your ears and just let the thoughts float. You can play some calm, nostalgic music, the kind that takes you to another place. Music is really great. I don't recommend that you listen to music while you are studying. That's not good. I do recommend you to listen to music while you are not studying. So let's say you finished a lecture, and before starting the other lecture, while you are stressed, you can just take a cold 2-3 minutes break, or even 5 minutes. That's okay, as long as that means that in the second lecture you're going to be studying good. You can listen to some music. Sometimes when I'm stressed, I do this. I study a lecture, and then when I go to the second lecture, before I start the second lecture, I just listen to some calming music or any type of music that I like. You can do this. You can play that calm, nostalgic music, and don't engage in anything. Just be at peace, and try to not engage with people as well, because that's going to waste your time. Okay. Also, the cold reset. So this is the other step, the cold reset. When you feel that mild anxiety turning into maybe a panic attack, when your hands are possibly shaking, you have severe stress, maybe you have a big exam coming up, maybe you have other problems that you're dealing with and you just cannot handle it, you have to do a cold reset. You need to bring your focus back to your physical body. So you can use temperature and touch to ground yourself. So if you love cold weather, use it, turn it on, turn a fan on. Maybe you have a fan right next to you, you can use that even if it's just a small fan, and just let the cold air hit your face. You can even splash some warm water on your face and then let the fan hit your face, let the air hit your face, so that you're going to feel a kind of a breeze. Touch something that is familiar, that brings you comfort. Maybe it's a specific piece of item that you have, or maybe it's a clothing that you always wear. Just touch something that brings you comfort. So ground your senses in the present moment, and just tell yourself that I am here and I need to focus and that I am safe. Then we have exponential studying. So sometimes you have a lecture, or let's say you have possibly 40 lectures, okay, and you're studying, maybe you started late. So what we're going to do is that we're going to use a method that I use, and I think I created this. I haven't seen people actually use this. I call it exponential studying. So now, after you've maybe looked at the sky, or you went outside and you have done your cold reset, how do you actually start studying? So you use this exponential studying mindset. So when you take a look at, let's say, 40 lectures that you have to study, okay, maybe 40 lectures that you have to study, and this is an example, maybe you have less than that, maybe you have more than that, then that feels impossible, right? How we can make it easy is that we don't think about the 40 blocks all at once, okay? We think about a specific block, okay? So, for example, here, if I finished, let's say, 2 lectures out of 40 lectures, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to think that I have 38 more lectures, so that is a big number of lectures left. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to say, okay, I finished 5%. I finished 5% of all the lectures so far, and suddenly the percentages now look great. So instead of saying you finished 2 lectures out of 40 and then you have 38 lectures left, which is a lot, you can say I finished 5%. And then you can say I finished another 5%. So you finished 10%, that is 4 lectures. And then you can say 8 lectures, okay, and that's 20%, and then 30%, and until you get to the number 100. Because this way, when you say I finished X lectures out of Y lectures, and now that you have a big number of lectures left, it's going to get hard. You're not going to get willpower to finish the other lectures. So you're going to be done. Let's say if you finish 2 lectures, then that's 5%, and then you can going from 0% to 5% is the hardest part because it requires overcoming the friction of starting. So once you hit that 5%, the momentum is just going to take over. Every single page you read is going to chip away at that percentage exponentially. Okay? And percentage studying this also, I think I made this up. So even if one lecture feels like too much, we move to this step. Okay, this step is what I call percentage studying. So we break it down even smaller. So let's say a single lecture has 10 slides, okay? And this 10 slides, you're exhausted, so you tell yourself, I'm going to study this. So I don't want you to say, okay, I have 10 slides, I finished 3 slides, and I have 7 more left. When you say I have 7 more left, then that's going to feel a lot. So what you're going to say is you're going to say, okay, I finished 3 slides out of how many? 10 slides. Then that means you finished 30% of your slides, okay? And then that means you finished more than a quarter, okay? You finished nearly half of it. When you finish 6, that's going to be 60% of all your slides. That's going to be a big number. So when you say I finished 60%, then that means you are not very far away from the end, right? And you're going to get that motivation and you're going to finish that. So going from just calculating that you said I finished 3 slides out of 10, that's 30%, and that's a big jump from 0 to 30%. And again, when you reach the number 6, that's 60%, that's a big jump, okay? So you don't need to figure out everything at once. You can use these methods that I wrote and I explained and you can also incorporate these in your study techniques, wherever way you study. Maybe you study on a laptop, maybe you study on an iPad, maybe you study on a pen and a paper. It doesn't matter, because all of these methods that I wrote, they apply everywhere. So you have to always take it one slide at a time, and you have to be gentle with yourself. So you're going to be a phenomenal doctor. Maybe you're going to be a great surgeon one day, a great gynecologist one day, a great internal medicine doctor one day, a great pediatrician one day. And you're always going to get through this phase of your life. So things will get better, and of course, if you need help with USMLE, then this channel is available, and it's completely for free through our YouTube channel. So yeah, that's about it. I'll see you in the next one.